Hey, we're good to go.
Call the meeting to order at 6:32. And we're going to start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Okay, so let's begin, not present today, with excused absence of Vicky Montoya, Commissioner Montoya, and Commissioner Castro. With that, we will call, Commissioner Rodriguez.
Present. Present.
Commissioner Morales. Present. And Chair Graziano.
Present. Move on to the verification of agenda question.
The agenda was posted at the Pauline Olivia Memorial Community Center, City Hall, and the City Hall's website on Friday, January 26, 2024, for government code section 54956.
We're gonna move for a motion to approve, the meeting minutes of November 28th, 2023. Do you have a motion?
I'll second.
That's
still moving in a second.
Gotcha.
So moved.
Summer,
Second.
okay, look, like. Okay, sorry. It was super confused there for a hot 3 minutes. Okay, so let's start over. Can I start over? All right then. So can I get a motion to approve the minutes for Tuesday, November 28th, 2023?
So moved. Second.
Okay. So
Shaver.
all in favor, all in favor. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval minutes for November 28th, 2023. We're going to open it up to public comment.
I do not have any speaker cards for public comment.
Thank you. Now, let's on to staff items. And first, number one, update on the Dome Park Grant Project.
We have an update, regarding the architectural design contract that will be on the February 5th agenda for city council season. It's passed. We have a project schedule into the timeline. You guys can see it in your packets. There's a project schedule and then the project deadlines. So, start with the schematic design to start on 21st. We start again 21st, future dates of March 17th. And we go all the way down to the modern, which is that is completed by November 17th, 2025.
It's on the timeline.
There we go. Maybe a year and a half.
Various timings in the before, also for staff item number 2, so once we move on to that, it's basically the same as the hospital.
Excuse, hold on, we do have public comment.
Let's open it up for public comment.
Have Rick Perez.
First of all, I'd like to welcome Freddie Blaza and just thank you guys for spending your time here. You know, we all have things to do. These are important topics, our parks. I'd like to speak about Dunn Park. Personally, I think that Dunn Park should be the park of Hollister. It's represents so much of our history. That's where everyone grew up at. In our home. You know, that's the way it was. You know, we have that's north, south, east, west, the center of the walkways in the circle. So it always represented north, south, east, west. Our Hayward fault line is there. And we have actually buses of tourists that come and take pictures of our grass. The Hayward fault line. Yeah, I think it'd be neat to bring some of the stuff back. I'd like to see a water park there. I'd like to see more basketball. I know the bathrooms are going to be done, working on the community center up there. But what about doing something like pictures along the walkway of the earthquake? You know, people are really interested in that. You know, I know they have certain places where there's pins in the ground to watch the ground move, how far it moves, and stuff like that. Make it interesting to the visitors that come into our town, because they say, "Oh, that's Hollister." And even with the water park and part of the, I don't know what you guys are doing as far as the playground, to make it Hollister. You know, this is a special city. I go to Riverbank and I stop over there at that park. And it's a river, you can tell it's Riverbank. For those that go to different parks, you know, you can tell community by its park. So I urge you to, I know that there's talk about coming up with a master plan and stuff like that, but I just would like to say my piece. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are no other speaker cards.
Okay, so I guess we move on to the update on the STP grant and Fire Station 2 project.
Commissioners have any comments on this particular item?
Are we allowed to comment?
This one.
This
This
first
one.
item?
Mhm.
Okay.
Any comments?
Any comments?
Questions? Discussion?
On the Dunn Park update, correct?
Yes.
So, okay, yeah, no, I definitely, concur with, Mr. Perez on, his comments, I do think some history would be nice, just something that people could see, so I just want that to be on the record. As far as, I didn't know tour buses were going, that's really cool, so I think if we, you know, I think we should capitalize on that. And then secondly, I think, I know that, I don't know if this is in the grant thing, I know what, I am new, so you guys can throw me in, but I do think another good thing would be, you know, plans to kind of, I know during Christmas time, we have the Christmas in the park, you know, so maybe we could, I guess, make the park, more, how to say it, more usable, or let me come back to that. You know, I'm envisioning in my mind, but I'm having trouble with the words. But yeah, anyways, thank you, Mr. Perez.
I also concur with Mr. Perez, that park's been around for a long time, holds a lot of history, seeing the events. All sure that would probably, it would be really nice to see when people coming to visit, as families, and stuff. There's a lot of families in there, and no piece of play, and, going on with, events, I think we should have more events for families, so just even they do a little, sale things there, or also the Christmas in Park, it's always a great turnout, and, movie night, movie nights there, it's a great turnout, and I think these old more events there, and people less off the town, you want to spend down with the family. I think that would be super awesome, to start seeing, especially with the fire station grant, experience about it. It sounds amazing, and there's a lot of stuff, a lot of things we can do with, that. But I think if we continue to make plans and see what we can do with the grant and what we can do, it'd be great to see changes at that part.
I think, that has been our intent to have more events there. We really do try to have events there. We hit some roadblocks. There's some, but ultimately, if we could even hold more things there, that would be great, so that, more people could see that it is user friendly. Oftentimes during the day, if we drive by, it's not very user friendly during the week. And I know that people are kind of complaining about that, but I believe we're trying to do that, and we'll definitely continue to try to do that. And you're right, we had the garage sales, we did, Christmas in the park, we've done a couple of other things, the movies was a great place for all of that, and I agree with you, I think that's a great park, there's so much space there, and so much room for kids to run around and stuff, I love it. But there, we do have a challenge there that, we're continuing battling, but we're not knocked down, we're gonna keep at it. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so our commissioner feedbacks. Right now, we're gonna move on to update on SPP grant and fire station 2 project.
So kind of the same update, so the architecture design concept was also submitted. And it will be on the February 5th agenda for the city council.
I have no comment.
To, somebody else. Okay, let's move on to the update on capital improvements project.
I just wanted to update our commission on a couple of projects that we're going to be bringing to council, and Christine, Chair Graziano, you've been with us for a long time. You know, the tire shredding has been a big concern in our community, so we've requested to have that removed. under, a time span of 2 fiscal years, so it's an expensive project, and to remove it and then to install the foam, I think Commissioner Barraza, you mentioned something in Morgan Hill, had a nice foam, and that's what we're looking into to replace some of our tire shadings in our parks. Staff has identified 7 parks that still have this tire shredding, so we'd like to, within the next 3 or 4 years, we'll start beginning to replace all of the removal. It was also mentioned that we're gonna go after, have a capital improvement project for Dunn Park. And this is just the park area that we separate the clubhouse from the park. The clubhouse is a partial grant from Prop 68. So that's separate, but the park area, we are working on a capital improvement project for that park. And then the other one that we're working on is Vista Park Hill. We just put in a nice new baseball softball diamond up there. And then we'll continue to work on the barbecue area this fiscal year and continue with other improvements at that park. So those are the 3 capital improvement projects that we identified.
Yes. So there is 2 separate, it's kind of the second part of the first question. There is a second. Piece to the clubhouse and then the actual park. Okay.
Yeah.
got it.
We decided to separate just due to the grant,
Okay,
because one is partially funded by the grant, and then the other one would be for, our park dedication piece.
very cool. Okay. Do you have any comments?
Do you have? Oh, I'm sorry, Robin. I thought that said B3. Oh, we are on B3. Yes, I have Robin Pollard. I'm sorry, Robin.
Minutes of fame.
Great.
Okay. Let's see, I want to thank you for removing the graffiti at the nice clean barbecue that was looking so sharp after the Giants Day. I'm hoping that I hear you're adding on more projects, the books, but like the barbecue area and up there at Park Hill has been, we've talked about it now for what, 3 years it's been on the books. So I'm going to request that these previous projects get started before we turn our attention down to Dunn Park. Because they keep getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Every fiscal year, it's on the books, but it doesn't happen. So I just would ask that while Dunn Park is a fabulous park, I like all parks. Park Hill is our first original park. So if we have our first original park looking nice, and then we move to Dunn Park, our second best park in Hollister, we have more and more people up there. So anyhow, thank you.
You too? Yeah. Just go up there, all of them. Have Rick Perez.
Oh, you're
Yeah, thank you again. First of all, we are using those parks very big. I nothing but kudos for the Parks and Rec Department. Actually, I was just going to ask about the Paul A right here. Talking about the Pauline Beaver Memorial Center. On November 20th, 2023, the city council approved a donation policy that was brought forth by the city manager. This policy will allow the private donor to begin the renovations. And have they started yet?
We're on item, oh, this is capital. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Yes, so the RFQ has gone out and the deadline is this Friday to design the Pauline Valdivia building and then 190 Maple Street. So yes, and then staff met with the private donor yesterday to go over a timeline. And that project is expected to finish by the end of the year, just because we have to get the designs, we have to bring it back to council for approval, and then we continue to move forward.
Can you make a comment?
Yes.
One of the comments I did have, I didn't want it to be noted on the record for the city council would be, I know that we talked about how expensive, the rubber, or what we
The
call it?
tire shredder?
Tire shred. So we're moving away from tire shred, or we are continuing with tire shred?
We're gonna move away from the tire shredding. We have a lot of concerns, when it gets to a certain temperature, the outdoor temperature, it starts to have a foul smell, kind of a toxic smell. The debris material gets on the children's clothes and their hands turn a different color. So just a lot of concerns from our community members, so we are looking into removing all that tire shredding.
Absolutely, yeah, I work at a school, so the kids would come in. One thing I would just want, I don't know how we would, somehow my recommendation would be, I know we always contract out for that and it's really expensive. So I think we know that, you know, this is gonna be going forward. We know that we're using this foam stuff. So I would, I don't know, look at what would the cost be to do it in-house, meaning to create a system where, you know, we train our staff and we get the equipment to go out and do this ourselves, because, you know, I have seen this foam material go to that school, and it gets eaten up pretty quickly. So I have a feeling this is gonna be a reoccurring thing, so that way, you know, we can fix it ourselves. You know, and then let's just say, you know, the school district wants it fixed, you know, they can contract with the city, and I think that we would be able to eventually, you know, do it at a lower price. So maybe my point is, I just think going forward, really looking into what it would cost to train our staff, or some kind of, to do it ourselves. So that's my piece.
Thank you.
I totally understand what you was getting at with doing it in-house, it's just, I think. The bigger picture on that now, we become more, more responsible, when it's gonna be our fault, something happens with that, and we'll get started for it. Other than friendship reasons, I think, but I totally get doing it ourselves, being able to. If a piece gets knocked off, we go and fix it in-house, so it's really wants it, we can stay all in-house and be able to do all this work around here. If we can, and yeah, but I think it's done, things that. Like, it sucks.
I know we don't have the attorney here, so there's no legal, we can't get a legal opinion on that, or, I mean, like I said, this is, I know all the time, I'm just speaking out loud. Because I know, and like, I totally agree, I just see it like, if it's $150,000 every time, and I've seen that stuff, they get beaten up, like those kids just. They like to pick at things, and so I totally agree, I would like to see what the legal, like, would we be then legally liable, and then would it just be, if you said cheaper, just always contract out, so.
Thank you. I have a question, Robin had mentioned about Vista Park Hill. We had a community person donate money and time, didn't we, for the barbecue area? Am I?
Our community member didn't donate their material or their time, but it was affordable for the city, and we are going to move forward.
Okay.
And I mentioned earlier that it would be done by this fiscal year, so June.
Okay. was getting confused. Thank you. All right. So no more questions. Let's move on to the update on Tabletop Park.
So at this time, there is no update. You're gonna come back to that one. Last time he was here, he kind of mentioned that these staff items, if there's no update, that we can just remove it next time from the agenda. And then once we get an update, we can just bring it back.
All right,
So when we get that update, we'll just bring it back on the agenda.
okay, thank you. Do you have any public comment for that?
I have no public comment.
And let's move on to the update on the Hollister Park bench.
So the city council will vote on approval of the naming of a new park bench at the Hollister Park Park to Sandy Gate dedicated 2024 bench in the February 5th agenda. So hopefully they approve.
Do you have any comments?
No comments.
Okay, super. Let's move on into unfinished business with the Hollister Skate Park.
So the commission was supposed to kind of go out there on a field trip. I know I spoke with Julio went out there and checked it out, but anybody else get a chance to go out there and check it out? I know, buddy, I don't know if you had a chance, but last meeting, we kind of discussed that we wanted to make a potential advisory improvement recommendation for the city council to consider. But first, we kind of came back and we wanted the commissioners to check out the park to see what recommendations they kind of wanted to make for improvements. And then we also had a speaker that that gave recommendations too. So did you guys want to wait and I can get back again the next meeting, or
I went to the skate park twice. I talked to you, I don't know if I'm able to report what I saw.
Absolutely.
yes,
Yeah.
really good comments.
Unfortunately, I left my phone in the car, I had all these notes, so I'm just gonna try to do my best to recall all my things, but, real quick. Were any of the people, were they here for the skate park, or, I don't know?
No, they're permanent.
Oh, I didn't know if they were, anyways, two comments,
Yeah.
okay. Should we do public comment first, and then, or should I? I know what the rules are.
Public comment. Well, at this time, I don't have any speaker cards, so, but I'll walk over there and get them if you
Yeah.
wanted to.
This is item, C1.
Yeah.
I didn't play it together, obviously.
Okay, so it goes questions. So if our commission has questions, then they ask questions. And then we get comments from our audience, and then it goes back to our commission for deliberation.
All right. So. Do we have any questions?
No, none of them.
No, not.
I don't either. And now we go to public comment.
I have Alex Chavez.
Yes.
So, let's start with. I'm Alex Chavez. I moved here about 10 years ago, and the skate park to me has been like a second home. The place where I can come and relax and enjoy myself, and obviously I met a lot of new friends there, a lot of people. But what I've always seen is that there hasn't been that much of a police presence. I mean, there's been a problem with the community, like community violence here and there. But either the fact that police just pass by, maybe look once in a while, that's not really enough, you know. Maybe there should be where we can install lights for a certain time, and then once the lights come off, maybe officers can come and patrol the area a little bit more. Maybe, because I've been there also, when it's hotter, you know, installing a shade tower, something that could keep, you know, with sun help people that, you know, people like it. And also maybe bringing out of town individuals that can, you know, perform events, you know, yearly or bi-monthly, something like that. As well as maybe covering up the entire park with a mural that can give a message of peace and facility, maybe some idle videos or something like that. That way people can refrain from tagging and maybe maintain it as it is. And also, you know, there's also a baseball field, a soccer field, and a skate park as well, and I feel that that's a part of the activities. You know, there's a lot of events that happen in both those areas, except for the skate park. You know, that's one of the things we get left behind, and I feel like it's been left behind so much that now people start complaining because of the degradation and stuff like that, and also the graffiti. But also, there's no one that comes around and says, "Oh, you know what? You don't belong here. You guys do belong here. You do skate. Maybe you guys need to go." And I feel like I don't have any more.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hannah Rodriguez.
Hello, I'm Hannah. And like Alex, I do live up in City Park. I've been there for about 2.5 years. And some comments that I would like to make is we need more lights. When it gets dark, everybody goes home. It is a safety hazard because you can't see. Sometimes people are cars, so we put our lights on to continue speeding. But there are soccer events over there, and people will get lights, and they are able to celebrate for what can be. I also would say that more benches, and more seating areas. We have one picnic table that everybody fits at, and I think that it would be a friendlier space to bring people to sit and enjoy. I do agree with Alex, who's like done a mural, something to kind of entice people to come, something a little friendly. I would also say a fence, a nice little fence that kind of to bring it in, something, and maybe a bathroom. But we have to walk all the way to the baseball park with me one other direction. So some things to think about. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, does any commissioners have any comments?
Comments for both, parties, definitely mural would be something I've seen a lot, and it definitely prevents a lot of people from happening. No one wants to mess it up. It does happen, but also shade, that was something I've always seen driving by, but I think or even when I was thinking all that, it was definitely a time. And then, trash can situation too, I know you clean up like you guys, so, sometimes it's, it's just destroy it, but. More seed invention, ventures would be. Definitely a plus, for anyone's, just makes it comfortable, the lights, I don't know what the circumstances for the lights are over there, that would make sense, having that for you guys and keep everything safe. And please spread it inside. I would hope, I mean, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good, but definitely it's a plus, we know that. Keep everything safe.
Tina, can you, enlighten us, do we lease that land, do we, what, the city?
The city has an agreement with the county where we maintain the skate park, the small and the large field, and the rest of the area is maintained by other nonprofits. So yes, we don't own it, we just lease it, and it's just an agreement.
But it is possible because we do have an agreement to, look for ways to improve some of these, we can look for ways to do some of these suggestions regardless if it's just an agreement for using the property, correct?
Yes, this would take an extra step for us. It would go to, the commission would make their, advise what they would like out there. And then from here, staff would need to go to the Veterans Commission, and then the Veterans Commission goes to the county, and it comes back to our city council. So a little bit more steps that are entailed just because of the lease agreement, because the city doesn't own the land.
Is this a tall ask for a motion, or should we bring it back as unfinished business again?
I don't think you can make a motion at this time, but we can bring it back
Okay,
for that, and then you guys can make a motion.
right,
Because I know we've been talking about this for a couple of months now. I would like for us to somehow come back, because when I went to the skate park, one thing is, just to reiterate, lights was the biggest thing that I kept hearing when I was at the skate park, lights. And then, so we have lights, and then also shade, because we are gonna be moving into the summer pretty closely. And then, because personally, I would like to really come back with a kind of a general idea, a real solid idea. How much would it cost for those lights to be turned on? Are they working, or would this have to be an entirely new light fixture? Shade, I feel like that is pretty doable. I mean, I get it, government, I mean, it's expensive, but I have a feeling that's gonna be more doable. Hopefully, and then so as far as the mural goes, I do have that concern, because lights do, I feel like prevent like crime or prevent like, people from kind of loitering out there, because if you're seeing, it's like, okay, so like that could, in my opinion, like we can kind of hold off on that. And then I think too, I remember asking this last time, those cameras do work, correct? Okay. Was there any word back on the, remember I was asking about the plants? I think it was like, these plants, like, it was, yeah, no. Yeah, but I remember I said, I think I put the, like, RFP. Did you happen to see anything like that or no? Or like when we discussed it before, I think. Yes. Okay, was there any word on that or?
No, I think what it is we would just kind of, have to make that motion, for the city council to, I believe, approve staff time to kind of go out there and review if there's, options where we can install the trees and stuff like that. But I think we would have to go to the Rex Commission before we do that. So, in the future, community.
Here, you're saying it correctly.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I guess, I think just, like I said, show shade, lights, plants. Ideally, I don't want to just keep talking about it, having meeting after meeting, like, some like, I don't know, some kind of direction by.
Can we, it's not called the subcommittee, what is it called? It's called a.
Ad hoc.
Yes. I think that's what we need to create at this time, because there's so much to talk about. And,
We can bring that back for the next meeting.
okay. Yes,
That's perfect.
because I think that there's so many good things, so many great ideas, and I think everybody needs to come together and prioritize what are number 1 through, I don't know, 10, even, I don't know. And that way we don't keep coming back, oh, and it keeps returning in a different verbiage.
I do have a question, Tina. If when we do go to the Vex Commission, do we go as an organization as Parks and Recreation, city council representing the city, or do we go kind of as commissioners or that? Or, you know, private for citizens and things like that.
We would go as staff. Anyone else in the audience is welcome to go as a resident and for support. And our commissioners, I think we can't, I mean, individually, but you guys can speak among yourselves.
Right,
It's not a meeting. Yes.
that's why I think the ad hoc would be a good way moving forward. Okay. All right. Let's move on to new business. We're going to move on to presentation by Katie, new business. Thank you. Okay, presentation by Katie Holmes regarding the Everglen Park plans.
Good evening, my name is Charlie Hazelmaker, I work for KB Home. We are buying this piece of land right there in the center of that circle, it's blue. It's called Everglen, that's our subdivision name, it's off of Chapel Road, between Chapel Road and Highway 25 right there. So as a part of the Chapel Road area right there has a master plan over the top of it for all of the land. From the Highway 25 intersection all the way around kind of an L around the existing neighborhood there. So as a part of that master plan, there's a parks master plan. So there's a giant linear park that follows Highway 25 around. You can see in this blue area here. So our piece is the one that's indicated there in red. We're sort of in the middle of this giant linear park. The orange down there is commercial, I believe yellow is all residential. And then the green square is an existing detention basin there, yeah. So as a part of the master plan, we're required to come before you with our proposed park. So these are all the different parcels that are in the master plan. This park is really, we're not allowed to put up a gate, any kind of a wall between us and Highway 25 for the specific land. So we proposed a clear metal fence just because the folks moving on Highway 25 right there aren't going very slow. And we want to make sure that we'll give us time to go without that. You're not allowed to put a wall, there's no, it's not allowed. I'm not really sure why it was approved that way, but it is. So we wanted to have something. Like I said before, we're sort of in the middle. I'm not really sure what the plan as a whole is for this park. I know it was put together by planning. I'm not sure the Parks Commission had a lot to do with the master plan. But I'm not really sure how we could bring you a center without having edges. I'm not really sure what your vision is for this entire park, so this is our current concept. It's really just a meandering path from one side to the other to connect the other ends. I would assume you can see just to our south, there's a much wider piece of park. If there was gonna be any kind of park structure there or anything, I would think it would be right there by the ancient highway on Highway 25, where it's wider, we have a little bit more room. Yeah, down in there, it just makes more sense, or even down at the bottom off of San Road, I mean, where you can have access from a public street. Within our master plan, all of our streets are private, except for, there's a road that's sort of like a, what is the road right along the freeway, you know, there's a little road that follows basically the path of Highway 25 around. It's called Everyone Road, just. So our proposed park is truly, it's not flat. I'm gonna tell you, either there's quite a bit of slope from Highway 25 towards our project, because all the sewer within our project has to get back to Chapel Road. So it's sloping on this picture from right to left on my side. And then Highway 25 is kind of low, so there's a gradient break back down to Highway 25, and there's a swale at the bottom. That's where the fence would be to catch the storm water off of the road, park. Really, we don't have a lot of money to build this park. We've calculated, you know, we have 82 lots, so you take your park fee times 82, and then we have retaining walls along both borders of this park. Like I said, because there's so much slope going back towards Chapel Road, there's quite a bit of grading involved. I'm not really sure what major amenities we can give you. We've proposed some park benches and some basically a meandering path and some trees. I know I talked with Tina about building potentially a dog park. You can see it kind of indicated up there in the top corner, just so we have something. And that's, I have dogs. That's a great
I think that's a
use of space. Yeah, there's no bathroom. Even though I talked about that over there earlier, just not. Maybe 3.5 bathrooms. I would suggest we put them. Sorry, wrong way. Down by Santa Ana, or maybe even at the other end where there's commercial. That one's is feature commercial. They may have bathrooms there. I'm not really sure. This is all fun. We haven't designed any. It's not really associated with planning and engineering and all the plan check process, but this is just a concept that we want to bring forth, because I don't want to go spend a bunch of money designing it, which comes off our total budget in the first place, and then have you guys not like it, and spending more money on paper instead of park. My landscape architects both are on the Zoom call actually, so if there's any questions, I'm sure they're more than happy to jump in and answer. And I'm not going anywhere, so if you have any questions, please ask.
question.
No worries.
Just a question on that frontage. So that road,
You want this back?
yeah,
Sure, I'm done. Don't care.
I don't know how.
Just go right or left. I just figured out.
Where do you
one
want
second.
Where do you want it?
I want to, I think it was that one right there, that frontage road, so that one, the blue, right, that's the frontage road.
No, it's on the other side of the park. So Highway 25 would be the northern border or eastern border
Okay,
of the park. And then on the inside of the blue line, closest to yellow, there's a frontage road that goes around.
so inside that blue line.
Yeah.
You know what, here,
Just along the left side of the blue line, there's a road that goes north to south. If you go back to the actual park, you can see it.
okay,
So there's a road in
Sorry.
between 25.
See on the left, it's called Everglen Road.
Yeah.
That's the frontage road that kind of follows the park all the way around. And how we-
blue and yellow,
Yes,
and it exists right now.
no, I have to build it, and that this is
Oh,
farm right now.
gotcha. So my question on the road, the frontage road, who would own and maintain that?
So all of the roads within the Chapel Road specific plan, which are, all of these are private to my knowledge. All of my interior streets are private, but there's a public access easement over it.
Right,
So
okay,
Chapel Road is a public road, but then you have to come through our subdivision which is fine, because it's not gated.
Right.
The people would be allowed to park along Everglen Road there to access the park. But
Okay,
it's all private streets, so it's maintained by the HOA. They're perfect.
okay. And
The
then,
park itself is public owned, maintained by the CFP through the city. That's a part that's required by the specific fund again.
right, okay. I think I love the, one thing I will say, I love, the native wildflower, so I'm assuming that's something that's indigenous to, the naturalized landscape, yeah, I mean, so far, it looks good to me. The only thing, I don't know how much it would be, you know, I'm just throwing it out there, you know, what I mean, I'm a visionary, I'm just. It's one of the big cultural things here in San Diego County, and obviously it wouldn't be big. But you know, how much would it be, or I don't know, would it be like, even an orchard or something like that, something really small. And that could be maintained by the CFD, just something that would, you know, 'cause I see that fence, so I do know a lot of people, they don't like to look out. And see, you know, a highway or something like that, like, would that be something?
I don't understand it myself. I don't know why the master plan required. It truly requires open fencing. It does not allow, I think they want eyes on the park, similar to the comments about
Yeah.
the skate park where if it gets dark, it becomes dangerous. So I think they wanted all the headlights on the park they could get potentially. That could be the only reason I would see why they asked for this, but I mean, we could pick trees when we're selecting them that are more orchard type. I don't really don't know what those would be,
Yeah,
because you also don't want to get messy trees, right? You don't want to cause a lot of work for staff going up to clean up after cherry trees or whatever that make a giant mess. But I have no problem with that. I mean, the tree selection can be part of the planning and if you guys have recommendations.
like I said, I'm just one person, I'm just putting it up there, I just remember, like, I used to go play in the orchard, you know, when I was in. By the time I was in there, most of them were jacking off, like, I just got like, throwing that out there.
The biggest thing I want you guys to be aware of is that there's a park on both sides of me also, so. I need, at some point, it's obviously not now because no one else has even brought forth a map yet, but. I think this commission needs to come up with an idea or a theme for this whole park. And since I'm going first. I'm sort of setting the pace, but I guess that sort of means something. If I have this giant meandering path and the next two people just have straight sidewalks, it's gonna look kind of goofy. So I guess that's kind of why it's important to, I don't think planning or civil engineering departments are gonna make comments like that, but that's something that you guys might want to know or might want to comment on. I have no idea.
I have a comment. So I hate that that's all open, like everyone's saying, it seems like it's not safe, but then maybe it's safe because the lights are coming through. I'm not sure. I get a lot of people asking me about the dog park. No one can at me because a lot of people come at me about the dog park as well. But I would like this to see something. I think we could use a dog park in town. And we have the dog park at the airport, for instance, when they were recently doing the lawn, do you know, people were blowing up my phone asking me, and I was texting you, and I'm like, what the heck, because people are like getting all, I don't even know the dog, I love dogs, but I think the dog park idea is a great idea, maybe even to expand that idea, so kind of theme for that.
Also, for the park, just make it accessible for future projects. If there's something built right next to it, it's also. Like, hopefully, so you're able to have access to it from that side, but what are plans for future projects from that, like, I know it's just built right now, but. Eventually just build, if they just put one in backside and now.
So I know our community on the other side, you guys see, we have a line of homes that goes along the neighborhood to this side and along the line of homes goes to that side. And there's a couple different roads that connect, but right now they connect to nothing. Yeah, because it's just open pasture, so. The civil engineer that they hire will have to at least match up the roads. Because there is a road master plan as part of this specific plan, so the major roads like Evergreen Road and a couple of others are actually set within the specific plan itself. They're not engineered, but it shows where they would be. So that kind of stuff is already thought out. It's really more, and just like the previous slide where the park is called out already, people aren't gonna be able to differentiate that from one use to the other. But it's just the theme of the park. There's no real information on that. And we try to stay native. I know we've done a bunch of parks in town and the commission typically likes that, so we try to stay with that. Everybody likes picnic fences and shade and such, like, these are all the same things that we've been hearing for years and years, so we're trying to keep it, keep it simple, keep it what you guys like. It's not flat, so, and it's not very wide, and Tina and I had talked about space for soccer potentially, but I don't know that it's safe. If you get a kid that it's so much higher in the center than it's gonna be where Highway 25 is. If they got a good foot on it, it might go out on Highway 25, and I don't want kids trying to chase the ball. I don't want to get that around. I mean, you could probably have little kids, but it's wide enough for little guys to go out there and have practice or whatever, but you're probably not motivated to do so. You could set the trees where kind of in the center or the meander path is closer to everyone. There's a wide enough space with like trees where they could have a practice or whatever. I mean, I have four kids. Every park in town is busy doing this practice, so you find a spot and make it work.
And then, workout stations like on the walkway.
I don't know if that's the theme you guys are gonna carry through, that's up to you guys. That's kind of what I was asking. I don't know. Okay. It's because I don't want to do that in my, 300 million feet in both sides of me, there are thousands of feet don't do that. If you got me. Yeah. So I am again also stuck within the budget, right? Because I have only so many lots that have a fee. And it's quite a bit of design costs, there's quite a bit of, there's walls on both sides, like I said, there's a lot of cost already, so this was pretty close to my number. If we start adding a bunch of stuff, I mean, come back for a reimbursement agreement, like maybe we built the other half of Valley View Park with a big baseball diamond. And at that time, we had a reimbursement agreement with the city, you guys ended up giving us quite a bit of money back because we overspent our budget. When this master plan was approved, there's language in the conditions that if, any one owner proposes more park than they should, that they have to come back to city staff and city council and get a reimbursement agreement to be able to pay for that. But that has not happened because we don't have even a concept yet. So we're trying to say it's in our budget and not cost the city any money.
I also want to make sure that the residents, I understand that you guys have a budget, but I also want to make sure that the residents buying these homes or these residential units, they're buying into something that's a nice area. It's not just something that's been grown together. I want them to feel like, oh, it's the city, and KB Homes really has a nice part for them. So I do understand, like I said, there are budgets, constraints. Ideally, I want you to walk away feeling like, yeah, we're proud. We're proud of this home, we're proud of this community, and I want to have people feel the same way. So definitely keep that in mind. I think that's the whole thing.
We've been in town for quite some time, built quite a few parks, we want the same thing. We want happy homeowners. It's important.
Any questions about?
Yeah, any questions for our landscape architects and all that?
I do have a public comment.
Oh.
I have Robin Pollock.
Well, it was kind of exciting for the first time ever. A developer has come and asked the Parks Commission for your opinion. This has never happened ever.
No, I was here for the Valley Park.
I don't remember.
I was here for
Oh, I
I
think
was
it
gonna
was-
say.
I think
don't
it was already
remember
approved.
The Valley View part, that must be the new addition,
Yes.
it's not the original Valley View, because all that neighborhood came down here and demanded that they get a park because that developer, whether it was KB or not, they did not put in a park.
We
And
put in a
so,
baseball diamond, don't we? The Whale Park was there, so we just finished.
right. But and all the houses that KB has put in this county or this city, they have not put in very, very few parks. So I hope that if you are gonna piecemeal that whole development around the 25R, if you're buying one little section and another little section and another little section, as you develop it, if that's your ultimate plan, then I hope you would come in with a plan for the whole walking area and the connection to that park. It's just really nice that finally, planning is sending people and we will get more parks, because parks are life.
I have no other comments.
What was the acreage or for this park? I can let that in. Probably in here. You could ask.
The landscapers are on Zoom.
Oh, yeah.
Which one? Maybe both?
They're both.
If Ryan or Flander can only you answer how many acres, I don't know. Raise your hand, who wants to stop it? It's fine.
I don't recall the exact acreage.
Yeah.
I would have to look it up.
No,
I should have known this too.
I should have known too, I apologize.
No, you're good.
I apologize. Everyone.
Well,
I don't want to give you bad information.
so you're good. No, like I said, I'm just kind of, curious, what was the minimum for this design or for this, what's the minimum, like, I know we probably have to get back on this, how many acres per like development? I mean, we have certain like requirements. Do you know what that is?
The formula, he's talking about the form.
Yeah, there's a formula.
There's a formula.
Based on acreage, you have that, so much open space.
Yeah,
So per resident, is that what you want to know? Acreage per, is that what you're?
yeah, it's generally kind of like, is it 5 acres per 100 units or whatever, just something to,
Don't know the answer on it, but there is a city's ordinance that sets that forth.
okay.
That's part of this, I mean, this, not. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a public speaker, I'm sorry. So I don't know the answer to that question, that does exist within Hollis, there's ordinance, so, we definitely met that with, so.
Yeah, I just want to know, and like I said, I'm not caught up with all of it, I just want to make sure I'm doing, crossing every T, so I don't need to just keep going on. So I know everything here, right? The Northern Gateway commercial area, so we have commercial there. And then is this whole low density area that you're planning to develop that whole area, correct?
KB Home only owns what's in the red square.
Only what's in the red?
Yeah, that be right there. That is our only acquisition within the Chapel Road master plan. There are several different owners. We don't have control of any other pieces.
Okay, because you built the those developments. For the.
Those are all owned by individual farmers. I only have the right to be the red square.
Okay, yeah,
Like the Rigetti family owns the guys and Vado family owns above us. I don't have control.
okay, but you're required, this parcel right here, you're required to build that park because of the chapel, the new chapel homes that were built, correct?
The homes haven't been built, but this is what it looks like today. You can't build homes in Hollister without building the park first. It's
Gotcha.
required that the park is built and open prior to my first build occupancy,
Okay, so the plan is to only develop,
the red square.
the red square? Okay.
No, the plan for the city is to develop the entire L.
Oh, gotcha.
KD Home is only building and developing the red square.
Okay,
I
no,
don't have control or knowledge of anything outside of that.
okay, so I guess my concern or my thing is the same thing, like, what I wouldn't want is like. What I see here, like, what I'm envisioning is like, sometimes in the county and the city, we have like a little park here, a little park here. Would be to kind of like plan out, like, okay.
This is substantial. I think, I know what you're talking about, because we got one over. Off the San Benito Street, that's a close to Stan.
Yeah.
This is bigger than that.
Okay, but but I think you see what I'm saying, like
Yes.
these little things, where I'd
Yes.
rather see, okay. I would be okay with the developer not building the park, but still having to. So people can get a big park, or a nice park, but this is fine, I'm just.
So this entire blue area is proposed frontage park for the entire master plan.
Okay,
That whole blue area will be one continuous park. Kind of like when we built the park on Apricot Lane going along the river, where there's one continuous park along the river, where it's really more of a path, but then your parks at different stations. This is gonna be one big park from Santa Ana Road all the way around the curve to that commercial parcel. It's a long-
gotcha, I see, okay, I'm kind of envisioning it.
No, no worries.
Yeah.
I
No,
think it looks narrow, but
Yeah.
it's definitely deep.
It's a big,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Okay.
not small. It's not,
Yeah.
it's not much.
okay, well, yeah, thank you so much, I mean, maybe I'll connect, I can, for sure, tour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that concludes all my.
Anybody else? Last time I left, I got. 3,000 pages.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
No, for sure.
Right, do we have any, commissioner further comments at this time? All right. Let's move on to staff reports.
For information.
Feedback.
Okay, so here, for the report of the recreation. Divisions of the activities, here in February 14th. We have our Cupid Express, Valentine's Day, balloon delivery, is a flyer. So Cupid will be delivering, we have 4 different Cupids, they will be delivering balloon bouquets to, the whoever registers, on our websites. This is our, our 3rd year of doing it, we have great feedback, we have a couple, we have a council member that's helping us out, and then we have staff and volunteers that, are gonna be delivering these balloons. We are $12 per balloon bouquet, and we get 1 Mylar balloon, 2 clear balloons, and then your choice of candy bag or lighted rose. So that's our Cupid Express, and then for next year in March we have our St. Patrick's Day Dash, which is March 15th, 2024, from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. This dash is a small run. The dash begins at 7 p.m. It's an all ages free entry, and we have food, activities, and music. And those are kind of those special events that we have, and then we have starting here in a couple of weeks is our Junior Warriors program, which is a free basketball program for here for our residents, and then in April, we will have our flag football program that starts April 20th. As far as adults, we will start our adult softball program. Since it's 3 weeks, we usually get about 24 teams. for the men and about 6 teams for the women, so. We're starting to kind of get busy again, so, we'll make sure we make time for our meetings. Yeah, that's it for recreation.
I just wanted to add to recreation, we will have photos with the Easter Bunny at Dunn Park on March 23rd. So we're getting ready. I think we're doing photos along with an Easter egg hunt. Kiddos. And join us out there, and then I'll give the report on our parks division. 2 years ago, council asked us to go out and seek an RFP for landscaping services. We awarded 3 contractors those services, and it expires at the end of February. So it's going back to council for an extension. Hopefully they'll approve it, and we'll continue to keep our parks and sound walls, basins looking clean and nice. And then just follow up with all our CIP projects that I already talked about at our parks. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you for the comments. I'd like to comment that I hope everybody renews that contract because, the sidewalks and the sound walls have never looked better. And I walk every morning and I see them and yeah, they weren't always like that. It was a hot mess. It looks good. Thank you.
I would like to also agree with that. I've actually already talked to Councilmember Tim Burns, and I told him the same thing. I said, you're doing a great job. I'm on my spoke. So just awesome work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you say dinner orders?
So I believe.
All over the board, sorry.
Yeah. March 9th is the 15th.
When is send us now?
So signups is, I believe, is still available, but we're pretty full right now. So if you want to sign up, you can still sign up. I recommend signing up because there is a wait list. And what happens is our junior awards program kind of runs the same time as Little League. When Little League starts, junior awards starts, and people sign up for the same thing. So sometimes we get kids that drop out.
Sure.
If they miss practices or anything like that, then we can reach out to the kids on the wait list and we move the kids that are not showing up to practice and we put them on the team. And then Joanne just mentioned that we still have room in the 5 to 6 year age ages. So that's flexibility.
Just a question, if we're on the Parks and Recs Commission, are we allowed to participate in Savannah to go out for the Halls Direct basketball team?
Absolutely.
I was just curious if it would be.
Not.
Okay. I didn't know that part of the job. Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, we have the men's league that's actually week this week coming up and we start the playoffs. So I am in one of those one of the divisions, the IM playing. So yeah, if you want to play, we will have a summer league we start, and then I can let you know if we want to be on our team or if we want to create a team. We've had discussion about that before, kind of creating our own team.
But it just can't be 3 members, because then it'd be a brown.
Okay, great.
He's the best team.
Awesome. So our next regular meeting date is Tuesday, February 27th, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. And it's 7:46. Can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Awesome. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second.
Do we want to take a vote to close the meeting? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right, we adjourn. Wait,
We did a roll call. I'm just-
You just wanted to say that, Julio.